Do a little nightcap. Little nightcap.
Beat money.
Yeah, do a nightcap. Get yourself rested up. Get ready for the weekend. You know what I mean? Just a little nightcap. American Descendants of Slavery. Current status and challenges. That's where we at. That's what I want to jump on for a minute. So I'm going to kill the music and get right into it. Family, we have an issue. We have a few issues. If someone can help explain to me this overhypeness to see the villain ride off into the sunset, damage behind him into what some people may call glory. Like, we got to tighten up on who actually is really in the interest of American descendants of slavery. Now look, I understand many do not like that acronym because of the slavery part. I understand that we have history before slavery. To go a step further, under the institution of slavery, and depending on where you were at, it may have been different from the view we have in our heads of cotton plantation, planters, tobacco, sugar. That be our primary focus. In all actuality, if you read a little further, many people lived in their own house. They stayed in their own houses. They got up in the morning and made their way to their job location and worked for free. And in the evening, they returned home. How I know this to be true? I'm going to pick up on one of my favorite book writers, Harriet Jacobs. Not Harriet Tubman, but Harriet Jacobs. Harriet Jacobs was born in 1813. She was born in 1813. However, she explains her life of her growing up in her grandmother's house. Now, if needed, get out a calculator, use your common intellect. If she was born in 1813, and we're talking about not her mother, not her father, but her grandmother and her grandmother had her own home in North Carolina under the institution of slavery. Some may ask, how can that be? But in all places, things are like it is now. Some things are similar, some things are different. I took it to be pretty interesting of her being born in 1813. I left her there. I wanted to put my focus in on about what year was the grandmother born. We would know, or we can assume, speculate, mid, early, late 1700s for sure. If Harriet Jacob was born in 1813, and we're not talking about her mother or father, we're talking about her grandmother. It's a good possibility, a very, very, very good possibility. We're talking about someone not from Africa here. We're not telling an Indian story. We're just talking about Harriet Jacob. And she wrote the book, Incident of the Life of a Slave Girl. Growing up in her grandmother's house in a town in North Carolina. Well, I speed that up because people swear up and down this and that was a long time ago. But when you actually look at it, it's almost as if it was just yesterday. We're cheering for people who go out. They brag. Y'all pump them up. And they've been unhurt somebody. And it's like the victim gets overshadowed by the perpetrator. And everybody's all right with that. All right. You had some, I know this one particular brother on Facebook, I've tried to teach the brother and calm him down. As he's talking about Trump, I'm talking about us. We have a responsibility to one another, being under the institution of slavery. Some may say, well, we ain't actually under the institution of slavery. There are doctors out here that would see it differently than that. You have to be mindful that you and you and you came from someone. Two people, a mother and a father. And they had a mother and a father. I was reading along in a book, which one leaves my mind at this moment. But one of the slaves was saying something to the effect of their great grandchildren are going to really get it together. And my question is, have we gotten it together? It's a lot of people dealing with a lot of pain out here. It's a lot of people in a bind. And my primary focus is the descendants of slavery. The most longest Americans for the most part. There are a few Africans, but I'm telling you, on the low level, they paint all types of pictures. They really do. They paint all types of pictures. 100 million, 60 million, and the whole time you're trying to count these fake numbers, you standing on your Africa. Every day you ride to work, go to the grocery store, take a cruise down the road. You are walking, riding, moving over some of the same land your very people have moved across. And that don't move you. And it's shocking. The answer is no great grandparents who experienced the institution up front of slavery. We're in denial. There's a shame, blame going on. Then you let people just throw you in any old group. A few weeks ago, y'all had done lost y'all freaking mind. Especially with this DEI. And I plead with the fam, yo, we're not no DEI. Stop it. Stop it. Stop falling into them traps. You really don't have no other choice. You really don't. I'm not talking to so-and-so. I don't fool with so-and-so. But your grandparents went to the same church. Or went to the same outing. We got these babies running around here, and I told y'all about 2015, 2014, maybe a tad earlier. It hit me one day. I said, we owe. When I say we, I'm talking about the people that are in their 50s, early 60s. That's it. We can't. And again, when I say we, I already gave you the bracket I'm working within. We cannot say our parents. Our parents had real nice music they grooved off of. Dealing with everyday issues, some are familiar. That's true. But yet, today, we actually have people out here with this, and you know what I really want to say, this Negro gonna kill another Negro and be glorified for it, is straight madness. Then the same American descendants of slavery that'll do that will turn around, go on a show where the European is the host, get in front of him talking about their very own people with this, that, and this. And that don't bother nobody. That's strange to me. Nobody speaks out on it. Almost kind of like, I don't know, like people scared or something. I mean, I understand it is what it is, but my goodness. We got to get to a point where we go in the room, send the kids out to play, and really have a deep down conversation about what we're going to do before we leave out of here. Or has everybody already made up in their mind, nothing from nothing, leave nothing, and they just going to get up out of here? You're a monkey chump. You just as wild as the person that'll jump up and say, I'm a real... I've never in my life got out the bed and went into society, let alone at home, and told society, I've never been one. I know some that say not only that they're one, but they're a real one. And if people get upset with me when I say, well, when they treat you like one, don't say nothing. Just take it on the chin. Just take it. Don't say nothing. Don't say a word. Just leave it where it's at. We got the kids out here thinking that they got it figured out, that if they do some harm to somebody, go into what I call a lab, studio, brag and talk smack about what they did and almost who they did it to. And then the people that's tuning in, they be on, I want to see more. That's not a problem. And we okay in that. Meanwhile, when our babies want to go to the little party, the little get together, you don't want to tell them no, because you know if you grew up going out and having fun and hanging out with your friends and making memories that you talk about today. So you tell them, yeah, but at the same time, you got butterflies in your stomach. Especially that age bracket in between 13 and 25. That's just, I mean, you got a lot of yourself and, oh, that's just, he just talking junk. But when I hit stop streaming and I go back into my zone and I take for granted you go back into yours, we're right back into this very zone that I just spoke of. We got to tighten up. We must tighten up. We keep mentioning the divide. The divide. Well, we divided. We divided. Yeah, we are divided. From the higher colleges all the way down to the know-nothing neighborhood. So you don't have no community, so stop that. People be throwing that in the community, into the, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. You got neighborhood, you ain't got no community. And if you do, define it. You define community, you'll come to realize, well, no, I don't have a community. You think? We're going to start really, really getting into a deeper depth. You know, this content creation. It's tricky. It's a good thing, though. I'm not in it for the money. Sure, I want you to hit the like. I want you to share it. Somebody want to feel like something, you know, I said or came across them and they want to touch, they can touch. If somebody want to just tell me something, there's email up there. Give me a keyword, something sort of, you know, catch my eye. I have more years behind me than I have in front of me. I'm sure of it. I do not think I personally will live as long as my grandmother. My grandmother, now, she did the thing. She did the thing. I'm talking about, here, look, I wasn't going to get into all of this, but take a look. Take a look. There she is with her 2 children. There she is with her 2 children. My mother and my uncle. Right? And then the funny thing about it is, them old folks actually kind of saw it falling apart long before, because they did. Well, I don't know. Maybe yours did. Mine did, though. It kept me in tune in where I come from. Where I was at that time. They foretold me, hey, we're not going to be here always. Neither are you. And I said, you know. And then she said, pass this down to your children. And I thought, you know, that is what it's all about. Passing at least the information down to your children. But your children can't carry the information if they got wars going on amongst themselves. Those of you that know me know my politics is I am a reparationist. I don't give a about who's a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Whig, up there, down there, Divine 9, Divine 8, the Divine 7, upper, couple of letters, KKK, nationalist, all that don't make me know, never mind. I'm 10 toes down in my group. My group is at home here. We can do whatever we want to do. But even that comes at a price. Right now, I don't know if for you, if I was to open up my YouTube and take a look to see what they're displaying, and there's no hate. No. Ain't no hate. But it baffles me. We trying to get to the bottom of who did this to this rapper. We trying to get to the bottom of who did that to that rapper. And I be listening to the rapper, but I listen. I have to. I have to listen. Hey man, like, fam, you don't see these people, like, what's going on? I mean, how much rope do you think they're going to give you? How many green lights can you really hit? One thing I tell the young folks, for the law, that man or woman can come in and their spouse asks them, baby, did you get anybody today? And they say, no, not today, but there's always tomorrow. Have a cup of tea and go to bed. For you got to hit all green lights. You have to. Anyway, I've digressed a few times. My overall point is, ADOS is where it's at. It stands for America. And I mean, I don't know. Call me what you want to call me. I know my family so well. I know the history of my family so well. As long as I'm on the east side of the Mississippi River, I'll go where I want to go. That's real talk. I live in Florida. On my father's side, I'm back home. And I act like it too. Not being disrespectful. My mind be on, what did he see? Not my father, but my grandfather, born in 1900, Elmo Sr. He named my father after him, like I named my son after me. So we don't have to be keeping up with a lot of names when it's time to go backwards. I heard somebody mention something about a Johnson being a slave name. I'll mollywop one of y'all on that debate. It'll be an intellectual homicide, you understand? I can't speak, well, actually I can. What you really don't know is some of these families, they made up their own names on the fly. Today, you can't phantom walking around doing business, whether you giving or taking, with no last name. You couldn't wrap your head around that. Right? But that's how it was. They ain't need no last name. Wasn't no paperwork. Not to that degree. Your free papers. They were far few though. You know that. They had other intentions for us. And well, especially once the work was mostly done. And I say mostly because the add-ons were pretty easy. The breaking of the ground was the hard part. That's what our people did. Some of us already had our setup, and you was intruded upon. That's the whole thing. I tell people we had regular lives under the institution of slavery. We did. I know you can't picture this, but it's well written. How else would your people know what they knew? I'm talking about my deep South people. I'm talking about my family in Alabama. Man, how y'all, man? How your grandparents and them knew? And they're telling you that their grandparents showed them where the wells were at. Fresh water. Which berries to eat or not. How to turn things of nature into medicine to heal. And they telling me, well, it don't work today. I tell you what, your baby get a fever and you in a tight. If you got an onion, you cut that onion in half or in fours, depending on the baby's size. Put the onions on that baby's foot. It will draw that fever out. I had 2 doubters in my life. 2. If I wanted to and needed them to, come on and say, yeah, Kay was on there. Anyway, it was Thunder Thursday. I've seen a lot. I'm never scared to hit that string. You know what I'm saying? I'll hit it. Yeah, I'll hit it. I'll hit the string. You sit here just like this, right here. Jot notes down. Because when I get going, I'm going to really get going. And it's basically a compiled folder of information as a part of a file cabinet in between Facebook and comment section on YouTube. I don't understand Instagram. And something keeps telling me not to load this up on X, although I am on X. But we're going to get to the moment where things are going to get pretty doggone serious. It may be some feelings getting hurt, and that's fine. You say you're not here to play, I'm not here to play. and that other brother, Mr. Powell, just like I got my camera turned on, turn that camera on, bro, and we can have this discussion about Trump right here. I'm talking about send out some kites, let them know there's fixing to be a discussion. Don't force it or push it on nobody. They got the time, swing by. I guarantee you. And depending on what age bracket you're in, you 50 on up, yeah, you're going to we're going to get really busy on that conversation. We're going to get real busy on that. Because I'll say it right here, right now. You're going to have to show me when, in what year, no matter what we said or thought about Trump. I'm talking about back in the 70s, 80s. I'm talking about doing, when you had to do a current event for school. Or you turn on the TV and your favorite hip-hopper. I didn't say rapper, I said hip-hopper. There's a difference between rap and hip-hop. I don't care if somebody jump up to me, well, if you do hip-hop, you really shut up. You heard what I said. Okay. I'm at the age I can speak on that. When NWA thing came out in the movie, my daughter said, Dad, are you going to see that? I said, absolutely not. I'll tell you what's going on, then you go check it out. Then we got a couple of books you can read, ma'am, and you'll see what they left out, just like with the color purple. You feel me? Anyhow, we need to go over some things. I need that brother to come up and explain to me, out of all the things we done seen Trump, Hillary hanging out back in the day, your rappers, hip-hoppers, I'm sorry, not your rappers, your hip-hoppers. And then, yeah, later on some rappers. So, yeah, I'm all right with that later on. Familiar faces to us hanging out with Trump. For someone to come to me and bring, and just come to this conclusion, he's a racist. Say what? As if you almost more informed than I am. As if I don't, if you don't know me, that's one thing. But those of y'all that follow me on Facebook, trust me. I would have been called them out on that. It's not the take I have. Now, him and the rappers and the drill rappers are all in the same club together. I'll let you think about that. Like, wait, what? In the same club. It's almost like in the Middle East where the Jews and the Arabs are slowly coming into a union. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. There's some scholars that said that back then that it was a good possibility that would happen. But back over here, Trump might be a lot of things, but he's not a racist. I will go get that brother, tell that brother to come on up yonder here, cut that camera on, and we'll go note for note, and we'll see. Actually, I have mostly every president book a few feet from where I'm sitting at right now. So we can go in and take a look. and you will come to the conclusion Trump concerning American descendants of slavery, that man has said more positive out of his mouth of our history. No differently, within the first 72 hours of him taking that seat, again, one of the first things that he hit on early on, he reminded you of something your NAACP or your Black Caucus don't never got doggone say. Like, what did he say, Kay? He said the 14th Amendment, which I already knew. There are people that will nod their head and say, yes, I've been saying that a long time. There was nobody supposed to be in the 14th Amendment but American descendants of slavery. No Haitian, no Jamaican, no Trinidadians, no Nigerian, no Portuguese, no Spanish, no French, Turkish, no Russian, no Igbos, no Yorubas, no House of Fulani, no Indians from India. They need to take that word Indian from here and give it to them people. Start using it. Get it out of circulation. There ain't no Indian. Christopher Columbus was confused. He was drunk. Anyway, somebody go find that brother. Go to my page. Find that brother. Tell that brother I said, turn that camera on and let me hear some of his breathing. Because if that man was on our ass, I'll tell you, hey, he on us. I know some people got tricked. Some people that are of the mindset of, oh, I want to do harm to the descendants of slavery, those Americans. Well, I mean, a lot of times it'd be a little jealous of you because they know things you don't know. You don't even think about it. You out repping for the rapper, talking about what he did to somebody that looked like him. That's the get off. I mean, but they know, dang, these people was here way before I was. I'm a freaking blow your mind. I have so much material. I'm just gonna really like take my time and peel the bark from the tree. That's what I'm gonna do with a butter knife. And those of y'all want to join in, join in. You got a question? Get it to me. I don't think I know everything. It kind of remind me of my nieces. They swear I can fix anything, and I know I can't. But that's cute to me that over the years, Uncle showed up because there was an issue. When I left, there was no issue. And that's how I'm fixing to leave it right here, right now, for this night. We'll be back. Find that boy that want to do that Trump thing. Let's do it. Anybody think they want to pop that Bible? We can stop all that pecking on that doggone on some of these pages, and we can just ask each other some questions. Keep it civil. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not blocking nobody. You little weak people be seeing people say things in the chat. I wouldn't give a darn if they had 1,000 reactions. Don't make me no number mind. Especially if I pick the topic. I'm not a medical student, though. I don't do medical conversation. That's my father's side. Okay. My mother-in-law, you know what I mean? I don't do that. History, religion, law, jurisprudence, and most certainly, genealogy. That's my thing. Other than that, I'm trying to figure out, for real, how I can get those reparations in for these people. I mean, yeah, you see that? Yeah, yeah. And then you talking about these babies running around here talking about some get back and this person go up and what they do. I don't know. I don't like the way you looked at me. Oh, man, they think, man, you don't get on. Like, so anyway, that means we got a lot of work to do, a lot of conversations to cover. Join in, join out. It's on you. But I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna ramp this thing up and ramp it up. Why? Because I kind of want to and whatnot. I done been on some of everybody's show. I've talked to Sinetta, Brother Ty over and when he was in England, I think, before he went back to Africa. I mean, Yvette Carnell's show. That's my girl, Adolph's. Check her out. Yvette Carnell. Yvette Carnell. Check her out. I love the way she put it. But like I told her, I'm a man. Some things gonna just come out. That's just how it's gonna come out. It's kind of like a dual nature. Or. Get this. What people be talking at. Well, I'm not coming over there because they be being negative. Little do they know. If it goes for the car, it goes for you. In order to get a car started, it takes the negative and the positive to start the car. I'm going to leave you with that.